This concrete violates the aesthetic guidelines. Remove it immediately.
We're not removing anything. We filed the proper permits, and this lien is invalid.
Cold air bit my face, and the smell of fresh asphalt rolled off the bay like burned toast when I heard the beeping. Orange vests flashed in the dawn. A crew was backing a paver down my narrow lane toward my dock. I was still in slippers on May 3rd of 2024, clutching a chipped mug of coffee, when the scraper blade hissed and spit gravel into the water. The foreman pointed at my dock like it was a parking spot. Behind him stood Karen, our HOA president, arms crossed, clipboard like a sword. She yelled over the engine that the board had approved a new accessibility ramp, and it was going right here onto my dock. My dock. I set my coffee down and felt the boards vibrate under my feet. The paver inched closer, heat on my shins. This is about one thing. HOA paved a new ramp onto my dock without a permit. Then I pulled the lien. I told Karen the dock was on my parcel. She smirked and said the community map said otherwise. Show me the permit, I said. She waved the clipboard. Policy is the permit, she said. That's not how the law works, I said. But the machine coughed, dumped a ribbon of hot black right over my cleats, and the smell went sharp and oily. I filmed everything. Karen announced to the crew, "Keep going, we're done taking votes." Somewhere a gull laughed. I didn't. I tried the soft route first. I emailed the board that morning. I called the HOA manager at 9:00 p.m. and got voicemail. I knocked on 2 neighbors' doors. They peered around chains like I was contagious. One whispered, "I can't be in this. Karen keeps a list." The next day I brought muffins to the site and asked the foreman if he had a city shoreline permit. He shook his head toward Karen, and she shook her head at me. Later, a letter slid under my door saying I owed a special assessment for ramp installation, $2,400 due by June 1st. I lined up photos, emails, and call logs in a binder. Timeline item 1, April 5 at 4:27 a.m., false trespass call. I wrote that entry after Karen dialed police on me for standing on my own dock. Patterns of false reports can be prosecuted. My line in the sand was simple. Use only proper channels. I filed a public records request for all permits related to shoreline improvements by our HOA in the last year. A week later, the file landed with 63 pages. I flipped through at my kitchen table, salt air drifting through the screen. There were budgets, vendor bids, meeting notes with blacked out names, but no permit. Not one. Buried on page 42 was a survey map showing my parcel line extending 3 feet past the dock edge. My 3 feet, I printed the city's municipal code. No permanent ramp over navigable water without a shoreline development permit and owner consent. Plain law line. You can't alter someone else's property without a recorded easement. I wrote a calm letter to code enforcement, attached the binder, and asked for a site inspection. I also sent a certified demand to the HOA manager and the contractor's insurer, listing damages, ruined cleats, blocked boat access, and lost rental income from 2 weekends, total $3,200. Every claim had a photo and a timestamp. I wasn't yelling, I was stacking. The payoff came with rubber stamps and safety tape. Code enforcement set the inspection for a Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. Karen blasted the community email saying an attendance was mandatory to showcase ADA improvements. People came with folding chairs and iced coffee. When the city inspector arrived, he stood on the ramp, looked at my binder, and asked Karen for the permit number. She said it was pending. He asked for the application receipt. She said it was internal. He used a red marker and wrote "stop work" across their clipboard and taped a red tag to the ramp. He said 2 fines applied: unpermitted shoreline construction and encroachment, $500 a day until removed. He turned to me and asked if I owned the dock. I said yes and showed the survey from the city's own records. He read the parcel number out loud. Neighbors started whispering. The harbor master rolled up in a skiff, killed the engine, and asked who blocked the common channel. People pointed at Karen. I didn't have to. The inspector told the contractor to remove the ramp immediately or face citations. The contractor looked at Karen, then at the red tag, then at his crew. They started prying. Phones came out. Someone on the pier yelled, "This is what happens when you skip permits." Another said, "She paved the bay like it owed her a driveway." A kid narrated in a fake TV voice, "We are witnessing a wild Karen in her natural habitat." I heard laughter bounce off the water. By evening, clips were trending on our neighborhood page with captions like "Clipboard Queen meets red tag." Comment count hit 200 in a day. My inbox pinged with thank yous from quiet neighbors who had eaten fines for years. One wrote, 11 times I complained about her and never had proof. I sent them screenshots of the red tag. People brought over cookies, then stories. I wrote them down. The air felt lighter. Then came the authority flip. The contractor's insurer called and offered to fix the dock and reimburse damages if I signed a release. But I held. I filed in small claims on June 18th with photos, receipts, and the inspection report attached. In court, on August 2nd, the judge asked Karen why the HOA built on a private dock without a permit. She said it was for the good of the community. The judge tapped his pen and said, "Communities still need consent," then read the code I had highlighted. Judgment for the plaintiff, $3,200 plus costs. When the HOA didn't pay by the 10-day deadline, I recorded the judgment lien against the HOA's common parcel with the county recorder. Then I pulled the lien and sent a copy to the board. That sentence did not require exclamation marks. It carried its own thunder. After that, the dominoes dropped. The board held an emergency meeting on September 9th. Karen resigned on the spot, blaming stress. The city tallied 23 days of fines before compliance and made them fund a shoreline education session. The contractor rebuilt my cleats and repainted the rubbed fenders. The HOA cut a check for the judgment and my filing fee and issued a credit for the bogus assessment. Neighbors who had once peered from behind chains showed up at my dock with a grill and paper plates. We watched the gulls fight over a pretzel. A new board member asked me, not a demand but a question, how do we fix this trust? I said start with permits and end with listening. Sometimes the law is not the hammer. Sometimes it's the bridge. I slept that night with the window open and the scent of clean water, not asphalt, in the room. Please follow for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think she got what she deserves? Comment below.